Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Millennial Revolt, an independent political talk show that seeks to bring a different narrative than the stale one we have going on right now in mainstream media. So, the Democratic National Convention is basically kabuki theater. It is 1984 George Orwell's book. What's going on and what you see on your television screens, the the supposed camaraderie of the Hillary Clinton supporters and the Bernie Sanders supporters, everyone laughing and cheering together. The Bernie Sanders supporters and the Hillary Clinton people put aside their differences and are joining together to fight Donald Trump, and they're doing this for the greater good because they know what's at stake. And that's what, if you're watching CNN, MSNBC, that is what is being shown to you. And this is basically a lie. If you are outside of the convention, it tells a completely different story, one that is actively being hid from the American public. The Democratic Party is not unified. For all its claims of unity, its media pundits claiming that the Democratic Party is unified, the polls coming out saying, oh, well, the Democratic Party is unified, 80% of Bernie Sanders supporters are going to vote for Hillary Clinton. For all of this, outside of the Wells Fargo Center, tells you a very completely different story. And I think it's important that people realize what's going on and is not fooled by it. There have been videos circulating around on YouTube and Twitter of eyewitness accounts of people who are currently at the Democratic Convention saying that there are people filling in seat fillers, because, as you know, over 1,000 Bernie delegates walked out of the convention. They just were like, this is a sham, the primaries were rigged. If you're not going to call this what this is, then we're basically going to leave. And I applaud them for standing by their principles. I believe it's the right thing to do. If you don't believe in something, if you don't support it, why stick with it? It's just a lot to wrap your head around, and you would think most of this would be happening at the Republican convention for all of the infighting that was going on. The real trash talking that happened on their side and the slugfest, it pales in comparison to what's happening on the Democratic side. And it's very scary because you have the police actively keeping people out. There's a giant wall around the convention. If you see any of the photos, I advise you to go look at them. And the media is being kept in the dark, and they're not allowed to cover the protests. Cassandra Fairbanks, if you follow her on Twitter, she has been actively reporting on this, saying that they're not allowing the media to cover on the protests that is happening. I know the Bernie delegates stormed the media tent and actively protest there. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of videos of eyewitness accounts of them saying that there are seat fillers, basically actors, sitting in seats. So it looks like there is more people at the convention supporting the Democrats than there actually are.
They have the floor closed off right now for anybody who gets out of their seat to go to the bathroom, which is how this all started for me, or to do anything. If you're hungry, if you leave your seat, you can't get back in right now. And my guess is that's because a seat filler is in your seat.
There have even been reports of ads posted by the DNC, though that I can't confirm, but I have found the ads. They appeared on Craigslist. They were asking for actors. They were going to pay them $50 a day to come fill the convention. And then there was another ad going around asking for minorities such as African Americans, Latinos, and Asians to also come in and fill the arena. If this is what's going on and this is what's happening, it's completely disgusting. If you don't have the support that's there, don't fake it. Try to rebuild the bridges that were lost during the Democratic primaries. Acknowledge the fact that this whole convention is a sham, that Hillary Clinton did not get the nomination, that everyone who was involved in the DNC leaks should be fired. There should be an investigation because none of our votes mattered. Nothing counted. And I know people can say, "Oh well, you guys are just bitter and Trump is working for the Russians." And what gets me so mad about this, not to go off on a tangent, but it doesn't matter who released the emails. What matters is the content, what's actually in the emails, and what showed was the DNC actively working to undermine Senator Sanders' campaign. And no matter how anyone feels about Senator Sanders, I know some people call him a communist, or some people think he's crazy. What shows is a DNC which is supposed to remain neutral and impartial actively work to undermine one of its candidates' campaign. And that's wrong. And it's shameful and it's disgusting. And everyone who is involved in this scandal needs to be held accountable. Hillary Clinton should not have the nomination. So I'm going to show you guys more videos of the convention, of how empty it is, and more people talking about seat fillers, because I think it's important that people see what's going on, because the media right now is actively trying to hide this from you guys.
This is Eden here. I finally got into the convention. We're in the California section. Apparently they've been letting everybody, all the other states in, and then they weren't letting in the California station. I'm going to turn around and let you see what it looked like when I got in. They said they weren't, but when I got in, all these people were here, and they have already blocked off all of these sections where the Bernie Sanders supporters have been sitting, putting reserve signs on all of these seats where we can't sit. And if you look up here at this gray box, that is a white noise machine used to block out our chants and cheers. So share this video. The California Bernie Sanders delegates have been held outside their entrance for longer than every other state, and they've blocked off all of the seats with reserve signs for seat fillers or scabs, and they have placed a white noise machine above our section. Yeah, Susan, seat fillers. They're paying people $50 a day to wear Hillary shirts and hold signs and come in here and sit down, so there's no room for elected delegates. I have the California Democrats list of official elected delegates, and Hillary and Bernie Sanders people with the names on them, and I can tell you that this section has not been full. This section has not been full every day, and we come in and now they've blocked off all the main seats, and the Hillary people were standing outside. They were saying, what's the plan? What are the instructions? And they were saying the instructions are to save 10 seats. So they've already instructed the Hillary delegates in California when they get here to block off 10 seats. These are all the people who were in here when I just walked in, when I was told that seating hadn't begun yet.
The Democratic establishment is just kicking themselves in the rear end. They are slowly but surely alienating their base supporters. Now, if you look around that arena, majority of the people who left are Bernie supporters. They are his core base, the Democratic Party's core base. Now, if you keep doing these things to people and they keep showing these things, they're actively putting this information out there. We live in a world where we have technology at our fingertips. So this is not like it's the 50s or the 60s where you can do these things, you can put up white noise boxes to drown out people's cheers, and then you just have to go on hearsay. People are actively showing videos. There were threats of credentials being taken away. There have been videos floating around of security taking away Bernie Sanders supporters' signs if they hold up his name. There have been videos of them taking away homemade signs but allowing Hillary Clinton supporters to have them. You know, it's It's just a lot that's happening, and I don't think they truly understand how they are alienating their own base, how they are upsetting people, and how people are going to leave the Democratic Party because of this. And the fact that Hillary Clinton, in her genius, thought it would be a good idea to hire Debbie Wasserman Schultz as an honorary co-chairperson of her campaign, that's just spitting in people's faces. And the fact that you picked Tim Kaine as your VP, who is pro-TPP, he's very conservative on a lot of the issues that liberals and progressives care about, it doesn't help you. I don't know who's running her campaign who thought this would be a good idea, but this is going to hurt her in the long run, and this is going to hurt the Democratic Party. And they don't seem to understand. We are not our parents. We will not fall in line because of your fear-mongering of Donald Trump. I would take 4 years of Donald Trump before I take 4 years of Hillary Clinton. President Obama said it best back in 2008 when he was running against her. Hillary Clinton will say anything and change nothing. While the Democratic establishment continues to spit in the face of Bernie supporters, continues to alienate them, Jill Stein is actively courting them. She is going to these rallies. She is sitting down with top Bernie delegates, top Bernie activists, Black Men for Bernie, all of these groups, and listening to them. This is something that the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton, has failed to do. And she is listening to them. She is taking their concerns into account, and she is talking to them, and she's having a dialogue with them. And they're meeting with her, and they're liking what they're hearing. People have to remember, when Bernie Sanders started, he started out at 3% in the polls. Jill Stein is, she's at 3% through 6%, depending on which poll you look at. Now, if she can get with the Bernie Sanders people, and if she can get them organized, and she can get them out there, she will have a viable campaign that will compete with Donald Trump, Gary Johnson, and Hillary Clinton. And if she can split the vote, she may not win, but that will give the Green Party, and it will make them a viable option come election time, where you can say, I don't have to choose the lesser of two evils. I can vote with my values, vote with my conscience. And I think at this point, what needs to happen is there needs to be another party for people who don't want to vote Democrat, because we can't keep having default options and just say, oh, well, I'm Republican, or I'm Democrat, or I'm an independent. No, we need parties where we actively support the candidates. We believe in their platform. They hold the same values and issues that we care about, and we're not going to just throw all of that to the wind because we don't like another candidate. Your votes should matter. Every vote that you count should matter. And if the election was held today, and in a recent ABC News poll that I seen, Hillary Clinton would lose. So good job, DNC, picking a candidate who can't even beat a reality TV star. Donald Trump and Jill Stein are doing a hell of a lot more than Hillary Clinton and the Democratic establishment are to court Bernie voters. You know, it's the strangest thing that's happening. This is an extremely strange election. You know, you have Donald Trump saying, and he's actually pivoting to the left on certain issues. He is more to the left on trade than Hillary Clinton is. You know, he talks about how the establishment is rigged, how it's out to get you. You know, he's really driving home some of the issues that Bernie Sanders supporters care about. You know, he's saying he wants to get money out of politics. He's saying these things. And then when people hear Hillary Clinton say it, because she said it in her speech tonight, she's going to overturn Citizens United. She's going to stand up to Wall Street. No one believes you. No one believes Hillary Clinton when she says she's going to stand up to Wall Street and she's going to protect Main Street. You're getting money from JP Morgan, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs. These people have paid you hundreds of thousands of dollars to have speeches. You wouldn't even release the transcripts and said, oh, the only way I would release the transcripts of any speeches I gave if the Republicans released their transcripts of speeches they gave. You weren't even running against the Republicans. This wasn't the general, it was the primaries. But then people are supposed to believe that when the general comes, all of the things, we should just disregard every single thing you said in the primary, and we should just focus on what you're saying right now. It doesn't work like that. Your record speaks for itself. What you have done speaks for itself. And that's not Bernie Sanders' fault. That's not Donald Trump's fault. That's not any of the Republicans who ran in their own primaries. That is your fault. That's Hillary Clinton's fault. And the fact of the matter is, people don't believe you. You have an honesty problem and you have an image problem. And I don't think there's any way to overcome that. And I'm saying this right now with all the certainty in the world. If Hillary Clinton continues to run her campaign the way she is, if the Democratic establishment continues to spit in Bernie Sanders voters' faces, Donald Trump will win. He will win. And you already have his supporters courting Bernie Sanders supporters. They are actually extremely nice compared to the obnoxious Hillary Clinton supporters who are downright rude and very hostile when you start to bring up facts and point out the fact that Hillary Clinton is not consistent on any single thing that she says. So keep it up. Keep it up. I'm glad the Democratic convention is now over. We can all get past this. Do I think she's going to get the convention bump that people think she's going to get? No, I don't think so. She came into the convention -4 points behind. Is it going to do any good? No. Did she give an okay speech? It was okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day. I'm the Millennial Revolt, and peace out.